I've always been a feminist. I'm lucky. My mother, Jane Caro, is a feminist, as is my grandmother, and both always have been. It's something I've never questioned, and always felt confident and strident about. Just ask me about it at a dinner party, if you dare.
Nah, I'll pass thanks. You see, no one enjoys talking to dyed-in-the-wool ideological bigots, because they are fucking crazy, and say fucking crazy shit. That's the thing about being indoctrinated into a cult from a young age. You have very warped perceptions of reality that differs radically from pretty much everyone else's. So when you get into a conversation at a party, they soon realise you're a fucking head case. That's why you have to goad people into asking you about it. No one else wants to talk about your mental bullshit.
Motherhood has been quite a confronting experience for my feminism so far, and I'm sure it will continue to be. Ever since discovering I was pregnant, it's been a process of adjusting and reconciling my biology with my ideology, particularly when I discovered that my baby, my most beloved Alfred, would be a boy.
See, there's the fucking warning light that may be how you think is broken. You had to reconcile the fact that you were having a boy with how your brain works. That's fucking ridiculous. The only concern you should have when pregnant, getting ready to give birth, is whether or not they are healthy. That's all that matters, you fucking fruitcake.
I had never wanted a son. In fact, I had decidedly not wanted one.
Of course you didn't. Males are inherently evil because reasons. It's this kind of thought process that leads to child abuse. Articles like this really enrage me because we have someone telling us that they will almost certainly be a terrible parent for this child, mentally and possibly physically. And it gets published. Fuck me.
I wanted daughters, probably because I am one of 2 daughters and 6 granddaughters. No sons or grandsons. This seemed altogether to fit in with my feminism better.
Well, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Just abort the poor little bastard. You wouldn't want to unleash another subhuman into the world. No, much better to have a brainwashed little girl who doesn't understand why all these people are disagreeing with them when they finally get out into the real world. Don't you realise she has a vagina and thus is unable to hear a difference of opinion?
It was more comfortable to me, but when the sonographer pointed out my son's dangly bits in our 19-week scan, it was clear that I was going to raise a son. The anxious feeling I had about this daunting prospect lasted a few weeks as I came to terms with why I felt the way I did and how I could let it go.
When it comes to having a kid, you shouldn't have to let go of anything like that. You should be so relieved when the scans come back normal, for fuck's sake. Being a boy is not some horrific medical condition that can only be cured by guilting them their entire lives.
There were 2 parts to the feeling. I had to mourn the life I thought I was supposed to have, the elder daughter of my 2 girls. Why do we plan things we cannot control?
Sure, everybody plans things. But mourning? Are you taking the piss? That's an extreme overreaction. Seriously, you could just keep having kids till you had a girl. This mourning of a completely fictional human being just makes you sound like a fucking psychiatric patient.
And I had to come to terms with having a relationship with a son I had never really considered.
Mourning, coming to terms. This kind of histrionics is why no one can take your sort seriously. You can't just calmly and rationally analyse your current situation. No, it's a fucking world-shattering event that needs to be vastly overreacted to.
There were dark moments in the middle of the night when all those dark thoughts come, when I felt sick at the thought of something male growing inside me.
And there it is, the culmination of utter fucking crazy that makes me fear for the well-being of this particular child. With a mindset like this, and with what you have told me so far, that you are happy to freely admit in an article no less, what's to stop you so easily resenting this child? Maybe hating it, and its filthy subhuman characteristics. You make having something male growing inside you sound like a fucking disease. Christ.
But I know what these thoughts were now. They were a manifestation of the same feelings I've had a few times over the past year. In this patriarchal world, this world where even the best men, and women for that matter, engage in casual and ingrained sexism. How will I raise a son who respects me the way a daughter would, who sees women as just like him, as just human beings.
By treating them like a human being, you fucking psychotic. And what makes you think your children, regardless of gender, are going to respect you? Perhaps if you deserve that respect, earn that respect by being a good, loving parent. But I'm not convinced you will do that for your son. No, you're going to teach him he was born wrong, aren't you?
I look at my gorgeous baby boy and my love for him swells my heart.
After everything you've said so far, these words ring so fucking hollow. I hope, I pray, even as an atheist, but truly I fucking beg to the beyond or whatever might possibly be out there, that you aren't lying here to placate those who would otherwise call you a fucking monster. But I'm not buying it. Not till you let go of your dogma and start facing reality that the only thing that's going to turn your child into something truly horrifying is you devaluing his life next to the lives of women and girls around him. You want a son that respects equality, lead by fucking example.
But makes me worry whether I, as his mother, will be able to counter the devaluing of women that is obviously so prevalent in our world. People are constantly telling me, boys are easier to raise. Casual and ingrained sexism, anyone? But I think they are much harder. How do you raise a white, middle-class boy not to think his experience is the default experience of the world?
Then the people you know are fucking morons. Raising boys and girls come with unique and very different challenges. If they think one is easier than the other, then they probably only have experience of one. And only a fucking idiot thinks that their experience is the default experience. Perhaps you should try to raise him with critical thinking skills, although that would fuck up your indoctrination, so I don't see that happening.
How do you counter a society that makes things easier for him than for others, and make him see it? See how it is for women, for people of colour.
Prove it's easier. Prove how no scholarship, no quotas, none of this shit that's specifically designed to benefit everybody but him makes his life easier. And explain how treating him like a monster for something he did not ask for is going to make his life better. 'Cause it fucking won't.
Raising a boy who maintains the status quo sure would be easy, but I refuse to be satisfied with that. I will raise a feminist boy, just like his father and grandfathers before him, but even better. I will point sexism out to him at every turn, and he will never get away with it without being called out. I will show him that girls are just people like him, and that products and art targeted at them are no less valuable or enjoyable. He will be immersed in feminism by a family who models it in their everyday life.
He will grow up into a nice little self-hating ideologue, who, as so many of them seem to, has some fucked up outlets. He'll dox and abuse people online who don't think like him, or he'll actually commit heinous acts against people in some fucked up act of rebellion. Because, as I have said, you won't be teaching him respect, you'll be teaching him hate, not only for himself, but a deep-seated hate for women that will more than likely manifest in some fucked up ways later in life. And that shit will be your fault.
A girlfriend of mine with a son, she had struggled with similar feelings, said something that stuck with me when I discovered my baby would be a boy. She said that she thinks it is sometimes better for women who wanted girls to be mothers of sons. We love women so much, we wanted daughters, and so we will raise sons to love and respect women. By having sons, we do feminism a great service.
I'm sure you're right. They will be a great service to feminism. But they should be individuals who make their own fucking choices and do what they want to make them happy, not you.
I think she's right. But I would add that by being feminist mothers, we also do our sons a great service. And I wouldn't swap my beautiful son for all the daughters in the world. He is my sun, moon, and stars. And he will teach me far more than I will teach him. Clearly, he already has.
Well, you've certainly taught me that the battle against abuse goes far beyond the simple physical and verbal we readily associate, but includes indoctrination, teaching children that they are broken and wrong, teaching them what to think instead of how to think. I want every word of what I've said here today to be wrong, but I highly fucking doubt that will happen. There's so much more to say, but really, I don't fucking want to right now. It'll just make me angry. Take care of yourselves, folks, and truly love your kids, no matter what. Laters.